A $72 million pitcher just got cut before his contract even ended, not traded, not benched, completely gone. And what makes this shocking? Just 2 years ago, he looked like one of the safest signings in baseball. So how did Taijuan Walker fall off this hard this fast? Because what happened next somehow gets even worse. The Philadelphia Phillies are falling apart, and almost nobody is talking about the real reason why. An 8-game losing streak, a last-place tie, and a roster that was supposed to contend is suddenly collapsing in real time. But hidden inside this spiral is a decision that's now coming back to haunt them. A $72 million signing that went from safe and reliable to completely unplayable. And it didn't just hurt their rotation, it may have quietly shifted the direction of the entire team. So what actually went wrong behind the scenes, and why did it unravel this fast? Because the deeper you look into this collapse, the worse it gets. 4 years, $72 million, and it was supposed to be one of the safest moves the Philadelphia Phillies could make. When they signed Taijuan Walker, everything pointed to stability, consistent innings, league average production, and zero drama. Exactly what a contender needs. But what if that safe decision was actually the beginning of a slow collapse? Because behind the numbers everyone trusted, there were warning signs nobody paid attention to. And once those cracks started showing, everything unraveled faster than anyone expected. And those warning signs, they didn't just appear, they exploded. In 2023, it looked like the Philadelphia Phillies had made a smart move. Taijuan Walker was winning games, posting a respectable era, and quietly doing exactly what they paid him to do. On the surface, everything checked out. In fact, some even called it a steal for the price. But beneath those numbers, something didn't add up. The success felt real, but the underlying data was telling a completely different story, and almost nobody noticed it at the time. Because those hidden flaws were about to get exposed in a brutal way. 2024 is where everything completely unraveled for Taijuan Walker, and it happened fast. What was supposed to be a stable arm for the Philadelphia Phillies suddenly turned into a liability every time he took the mound. A 7.1 ERA, nearly 2 base runners per inning, home runs flying out at an alarming rate. And the worst part, it wasn't just bad luck. Hitters were squaring him up like they knew exactly what was coming. Injuries only made things worse, stripping away any consistency he had left. But somehow, this wasn't even the lowest point yet. In 2025, it looked like something was finally turning around for Taijuan Walker inside the Philadelphia Phillies rotation. The ERA dropped closer to league average, the results seemed steadier, and on the surface it almost felt like a quiet rebound season. But behind that improvement, nothing was actually fixed. The strikeout-to-walk issues were still there, base runners kept piling up, and advanced metrics still painted an ugly picture. It wasn't a true comeback, it was just a temporary pause in a much deeper decline that nobody fully confronted at the time. And that illusion made the next collapse even more shocking. In 2026, everything finally reached its breaking point for Taijuan Walker inside the Philadelphia Phillies organization. What had been building for years, decline, inconsistency, missed adjustments, exploded in just a few outings. Over 22.2 innings, he gave up 23 runs with an ERA soaring past 9. Hitters weren't just hitting him, they were timing him perfectly from the first pitch. There was no recovery, no adjustment period, no sign of control returning. At that point, the situation stopped being about performance and started being about survival on the roster. And the decision the Phillies made next said everything about how far things had fallen. Over the span of 4 seasons with the Philadelphia Phillies, Taijuan Walker didn't just struggle, he statistically collapsed across almost every category. Worst FIP among high-innings pitchers, bottom-tier whip, and a strikeout-to-walk ratio that kept getting worse. The deeper you look, the more alarming it becomes. And when you see the full numbers, it's even more shocking than it sounds. This isn't just about Taijuan Walker anymore. It's about how the Philadelphia Phillies went from a calculated $72 million investment to a contract they couldn't escape. What looked like stability slowly turned into a liability no one could fix, and the fallout changed everything. Because this one move might have reshaped their entire direction.